Hey everybody, it's Neora Jones back with a new video. My first gun, 10 years later. Uh, this is my first firearm. Mossberg 500 Persuader, 6-shot, 18.5-inch barrel, heat shield from the factory, um, blued finish, wood furniture. I since swapped it out for plastic back in 2014. Shout out to 803 Salad Shooter because he was with me on that trip to that gun show in Greenville where I made the trade plus 25 bucks to get this wood furniture. I got a GG&G sling mount right behind the barrel nut, a homemade sling because I'm cheap and crafty like that, and Uncle Mike's sling swivel in the back, along with Tagstar side saddle 6-shot that I cannot remember when I bought, but it's here on the shotgun. It's been here for as long as I can remember. I feel like I should share with you guys, around the story behind me buying this. Um, as I said, this was my first gun. It was actually the first gun video I did on YouTube. I've done on YouTube. If you look back all the way back in my archives, back before I had facial hair, this is the gun This is the gun that was in the video. Just a little less features on it. I actually bought this shotgun behind my family's back because around the time that I wanted to buy my first gun, they weren't having it. I was 18 when I brought the topic up. They didn't like with the exception of my sister, they weren't they really weren't having it. It could be because the stigma between the stigma of black men and firearms. Maybe they were just concerned for my safety. Maybe they just had, I'm not saying they were homophobes, but it's not something that was really, that's not something that was really talked about in the family. With the exception of one uncle of mine who had passed away a few years ago, he collected firearms and cars. He died of cancer in 2014, but I remember he showed me his collection. He actually had a field model Mossberg 500. Which I thought was pretty cool. He also had, I remember he had a 30-06 bolt action rifle. But yeah, they weren't really they didn't like that I was talking about that kind of stuff. Well, around the time that I turned 19, I saved up my birthday money, and I saved up some money before that. And this was right now the time that I bought this was around it was in the summer of 2008. Well, I was having my summer vacation from college, and the first time I actually saw this available anywhere was in Sumter. I didn't have a truck at the time. I drove my grandparents' little S10, and I pretty much knew that they weren't going to like me borrowing a truck to go out of town to buy a gun behind their back. But one day I was going to my local hardware store, and I was buying some nuts, bolts, and washers for some other project I was working on, and I came across this. It was in the glass case, and I remember I was walking past. I looked over because they normally the firearms cases behind some shelves is up against the wall, and I said, "Holy shit!" And it was now originally I wanted an 8-shot model because I liked the shotgun from Max Payne, which was actually a Winchester 1300 Defender. But I didn't know at the time. I thought it was a Mossberg 500. But you live and learn. I may someday buy the 1300 Defender, depending if I see one at a good price, depending on how I'm feeling that day. Who knows? But yeah, so it was behind the glass case with the heat shield, black furniture, pretty much no frills, and it was tagged at $299.99. And I said, "Holy crap! This thing's actually in town, not too far from where I live." I actually rode my bike to the hardware store to make the purchase, and I said, "Well, it's in town. I had the money for it. Now, was I actually gonna buy this thing?" And then one Saturday, it was actually June 7th, so 10 years ago. My grandparents were going out of town, So I had so I had a large window of opportunity to take advantage of. So I prayed the night before, and I said, God, if I'm not meant to buy this thing, please stop me, because I was dead set on doing it. And well, I rode my bike into the to the hardware store. I said, I want to buy this shotgun. I filled out a background check. 5 minutes later, I came back clear. Um, they brought the gun out in a. It was in a gray. No, not a gray. It was like a cardboard box with a green stripe across top that says special purpose. It was like it was no frills box at the time, and it basically had the shotgun in the box with the barrel removed. And so I bought it. I bought it for after taxes. It was $323.99, and I'm riding back home on my bicycle with this box in my hand, just a big grin on my face from ear to ear. And I got home and I put it inside the barn that had my chainsaw collection, because that was one of the power tools I was very fond of and liked working on when I was in high school. And so there was a shelf that I had all my chainsaws on, and it had a tarp over it. And put the shotgun underneath the shelf. My grandparents, they weren't going to mess with it. I remember there was before I told them, my grandfather, he moved the tarp to get something, but he didn't look inside the box. He didn't know what was in there. So I kept my mouth shut. But then there were some things that happened one week. I think it was in July. There was some crimes that had happened during the summertime. This is around when people were worried about gasoline being stolen off their property, and we thought the same thing happened to us some time ago. There was actually an attempted robbery at my job, and there was a bank robbery just a block down from where my job was, and there was people were just kind of on edge, like when all this stuff was going on. And so when my grandparents were both home, I said, guys, listen, I got something to tell you. I bought a gun. I bought a shotgun. And they weren't mad, surprisingly. I guess they didn't like the idea when I brought it up originally, but when I finally told them, say, hey, listen, I bought one, they were pretty I guess, like, well, you already did it, and knowing you say, you're set on doing something, you're gonna get it done. So I bought it, and 10 years later, I am still happy with this purchase. I don't shoot this gun very often. Once in a while, I'll take it to the range. Normally if I go to a range, I'm taking handguns. But every now and then I'll take this if I want to just have some fun with the shotgun. This one has a bit of dust on it. It sits in the corner, but it is clean. I haven't had any rust issues with this gun. Maybe a little bit of surface rust a long time ago between the heat shield and the barrel, but I took care of that with. I remember the first gun oil I used was Outers Tricare, and I remember how thin this stuff was, but it got everywhere. When you dab it on the surface, it got everywhere, and so I had pretty good coverage for rust protection. For when I had to store this thing away, and yeah, like I said, I was rebellious. I was rebellious then. That led to me buying this. I think I'm still a little bit rebellious now. For those who know me pretty well, and I don't think I don't ever have any plans of selling this. I'm gonna keep this, maybe as a family heirloom, something I'll pass down to my children if that day ever happens, and just keep the tradition going of being known for collecting shotguns, just more specifically riot shotguns. Oh yeah. Yeah, still sounds great after all the after just 10 years. The funny thing is the Western field that I have, the Mall 550, which is based off of the 500 Mossberg, the action is very slick. It's but that gun's from '73, so the action's been well broken in, and so I'm pretty sure over time if I shoot this thing, pretty often it'll happen to this gun. But time will tell. But please share your thoughts. What was your first firearm? Do you still have it? Did you sell it? Did it break? Did you buy another one just like it? Like to hear your thoughts. I have a good collection of Mossbergs. Um, I think they're a nicely built shotgun. Uh, Please send me a private message, or leave a comment in the comment section. If you don't like this shotgun, if you think it's a piece of junk, go ahead and make your opinion be known. I won't chew you out, but maybe someone in the comment section will. But I hope you guys enjoy my channel. I just wanted to share this story with you guys because, like I said, I had this thing for 10 years so far. It's the longest. This is the longest owned firearm in my collection. Oh, I said that right. This is the gun I owned the longest. Yeah, there we go. And well, I still got it. I hope to keep on owning it for much longer than 10 years. But that's my video. First firearm, Mossberg 500 Persuader. 10 years ago I bought this thing. And I still got it. I'm Edward Jones, and thanks for watching.